It can't be that bad, oh, 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 it can't be that bad. It's been like a full week since I've last seen you. I miss you, man.
It's been a little bit, man. I grew a beard.
Yeah, I think I could see it. You shaved your head. You kind of look like Professor X.
Yeah, I did. I had a whole relationship and a breakup in the time you were gone.
Uh-huh. Oh, shit. Wow.
Yeah.
In that full week?
Got a kid now.
Wow, that's a fast 9 months.
His name's Arturo.
Arturo, don't have to say it like that?
Great kid. Yeah, that's his name.
I can't say Arturo?
That's not his name.
Arturo.
Okay.
I'll try to adopt that kind of accent. I'm happy for you and Arturo.
Thank you.
Being a single father. Baddies out there, if you would be so kind, you can Venmo us at ICBTB podcast or hit us up on GoFundMe because Alex needs the money to support Arturo's life.
Arturo, shut up. We're doing a podcast.
Arturo, shut the fuck. Arturo.
Okay. We're good.
All
He's
right,
back in his cage.
He's back. Oh, shit. Oh, okay.
No, is that too much?
No, it's not enough. Arturo, get back in your cage. I can't do it. Don't cage your kids. Don't cage your kids.
Which brings us to an interesting point about, the status of the kids in cages in America, right? Because they're illegal immigrants, which leads me to
this
movie
film
that we watch, guys. This movie is crazy poignant for right now in this times. And also,
what?
Is our first viewer request or listener request.
Yeah, we'd like to give a shout out to Megan McGarvey.
Yeah, right at the top for pointing us out. I've seen Coneheads before. This is a great movie, but I did not even think about doing it for this
I
podcast.
saw it as a kid, and I didn't put two and two together about like all of the points that it was hitting at the time. Like,
oh no, I just thought it was a silly movie about aliens. But if you watch this movie now, it's pretty cool.
Relatable.
It's really
to
funny.
Today's
It's
politics,
pretty smart.
Dude. It is funny and smart.
It's highbrow. It's high quality.
It came out the year we were born, 1993, man.
This movie aged really well too. Like I didn't feel like I was watching a movie from the 90s.
Oh, because I felt like I was watching a movie from the 80s, dude. The special effects. Okay.
Yeah, but it's camp, bro.
I want to jump right into it before you hit the nitty gritty.
Hit me.
Up until they solidify their lives in a nice suburban neighborhood. I was freaking the fuck out for the first 20 minutes of the film.
From their heads?
Yeah, no, not just from their heads. From their heads, their teeth, their mannerisms. Yeah, the noises they would make. These big telephones that they would stick their heads in. I was freaking out.
I loved it. I thought it was so funny, dude.
It was terrifying. I can't even count.
I love them learning to be human.
That was a nice little game that they had throughout the entire film. All of them learning the mannerisms of being human.
And like missing it, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like getting it, but missing it. Which is like, immigrants in America. Like sometimes they get American silly things, but like, let's jump into it, guys. Coneheads came out in 1993. Mm-hmm. It's rated PG. Has a runtime of 88 minutes.
PG?
Correct, Mundo. It had a budget of $33 million.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's got a lot of actors. Every young upcoming comedian in the 90s who is now like the comedians now, like Adam Sandler, Ellen DeGeneres had her premiere or debut. Drew Carey had his movie premiere debut in this movie.
Wow, really?
Everyone who's big is in this movie. David
a lot
Spade,
of SNL, cast members.
Yeah. Anyways, $33 million to make.
Jesus.
Do you know what they got back?
$50 million.
Wow.
Was that, dude? Every single time I try to guess the numbers, I never know if I'm right anymore because like your wows have now turned into like either you fucked that one up or Christian, you're spot on. What is it, dude?
You fucked that one up, dude.
Damn, just say it from the get go. You blue balling me, man. Don't make that noise after I say that word.
$21 million.
It lost money. But it must have received like a cult following.
Yeah, I think now it's got a little bit more of a cult. I mean, they made a sequel. They made Coneheads too.
There's another one?
Pretty sure.
I don't know. You might be making that up.
No.
You sounded confident at first, and then you kind of retracted
No, I'm pretty confident. Baddies, hit us up if there's a Coneheads too. This movie's rated 5.3 out of 10 on IMDb. 35% on those Rotten Tomatoes.
Damn.
49% on Metacritic.
Woo. Wah, wah, wah.
And the Google users that approve?
87%.
82%.
Okay, thank you. 5% off.
You were really close.
Thank you for making me feel excited about that.
This movie is directed by a gentleman named Steve Barron. And we'll go ahead and get into the synopsis.
Uh-huh.
Cone-headed extraterrestrials, Beldar and Primat, find themselves in New Jersey after a recon mission for their home planet of Remulac goes awry. Stranded, they are forced to live as typical suburban humans. Beldar gets a job, and daughter Connie grows up to be a typical, if oddly shaped, teenager. The INS agents start investigating the family, and Beldar receives sinister orders from Remulac. The Coneheads must decide where their allegiances lie.
Yeah. That's like some good whistling there. Thanks,
I've been practicing that.
You watch a lot of X-Files, my friend?
Yeah, it's one of those. I like Twilight Zone. Like one of my favorite Twilight Zone episodes is the one with the alien in the diner. You know what I mean?
Oh, you did show me that one.
It's one of my favorites.
That was a good one, dude. Yeah. This movie, although it freaked me out, it was witty. It was very clever.
Funny. Dan Aykroyd is doing his best.
He's a fucking genius. Yeah. Good. With the kudos to the writers and like how they would make it.
He was one of the writers.
Yeah, was he one of the writers?
There was 4 writers. It was the married team. Terry, I can't remember what their first names are. Or maybe Terry was one of their first names. But and the director, the 4 of them wrote this movie.
Nice.
Yeah, based on an SNL skit. Wrote this whole movie.
Because the way they articulated things, it was very clever. Because it was half, when he's like yelling at his daughter, when Dan Aykroyd is yelling at his daughter, like saying like you're grounded for one whole Zerl.
Yeah.
When I get home, she's gonna be grounded for one whole Zerl. It was like a nice mixture of their alien speak, but human speak, human mannerisms.
Like they understand that's what it means, right?
Yeah.
But they're using their words. Like when she gets the tattoo, the decal on her head, he's like, "What have you done to your cone?"
Yeah, there's so many good quotes from this film. The
Adam Sandler scene when he's teaching him how to be, when he's giving him his fake identity.
Yes,
is the best.
It's fantastic.
Because even Adam Sandler's like, this guy's great. Hey, are you guys seeing this?
What I love about this movie is that they're accepted. People barely even question.
Don't even know. They're just like, oh yeah.
Where are you from? Like they think you're from another country. Yeah, that's a very iconic quote. Is like, France. We come from France. Like every single time. And the INS agents when they pose as Jehovah's Witnesses, and they come into their home, and then he starts speaking. The INS agent starts speaking to Beldak in French.
Beldar.
Yeah, Beldar in French. He just comes back at it with fluent French.
Same with Primat.
Same with Primat. Yeah.
That's a really funny scene too, because she like wheels out a cart of drinks and chips, but gives each of them a 6-pack of Pepsi each.
Yes.
And then a mountain of chips.
But yeah, they all have like little games to them. Like we know that they speak funny.
Yeah.
We know that they consume heavily carbs. Heavy carbs. Like when they were in their trailer, they had so much shit in there. They had Twinkies.
Yep, Twinkies, a mountain of Twinkies and cupcakes.
And yeah,
Hostess cupcakes.
A mountain of Wonder Bread.
That sounds so good.
Dude, don't do it. You're trying to be healthy.
I know, man. I'm on this new diet, and it's just like...
Yeah, tell us about it.
Welcome to Diet Talk, guys.
I'm doing this for you. Don't think I'm trying to make a segment out of nothing. I think that we should hold you accountable to this diet while all the listeners are listening, because you have been, and if I may be so bold,
you may,
a fat fuck lately. You've been. We recently went to Santa Cruz for my birthday, guys, and this guy in one day has like easily eaten over 5,000 calories.
Oh, dude.
You want to list out what you've eaten that day?
I had a fried Smucker's Uncrustable.
Oh, so good.
Fried, was it Oreos or Twinkie?
Twinkie.
It was a Twinkie. A churro.
You did have a churro.
Nachos.
You had a Dole Whip.
Pineapple Dole Whip.
Yeah. You had... I think you had like a Hot Pockets.
I had
from
2 Hot
7-Eleven.
Pockets.
2 Hot Pockets.
Well, I mean, the box 2 come in a box.
Were you breathing heavy that day, dude?
No, dude. I did, but when I fell asleep that night, I cleared out that room.
You did. So he was supposed to be sharing a room with our buddy Alan Boo, who helps produce this podcast. He's one of the sound producers. And Alan wanted to sleep in that room with Alejandro, But Alejandro, you fucking quarantined that room. From those 5,000 calories that you consumed, you were farting up a storm. Every single time people would walk in, their eyebrows would just shed. They would disintegrate.
Much like when the Coneheads would do gross things.
Way to bring it back.
Thank you.
Clever.
That's called a segue.
Oh.
I thought that what was really funny was when they do like the traditional coming to America sort of deal.
Yeah.
Like we said, nobody questions that they're Coneheads, but they do clearly are. They're aliens. They're immigrants, and they're learning the way of America. They're learning to be their best, working hard, saving money, and they're progressing. You know what I mean? You can see them go from a trailer park to an apartment to a house to a bigger house to and that's nice to see. That
I really did like that.
That part is like a nice part of it.
They were making it. They were starting because they're
doing the American dream, and you don't see that. Yeah,
they were very hostile at first. They came to Earth with the purpose of conquering and enslaving humans. Mm-hmm. But then they just started adopting human culture, and it was so nice to see them like try to fit in.
Can we try and name all the people who are in this movie?
Oh, all of the fucking cameos. All right, let's take turns.
Okay,
and then the last one
loses.
Basically.
Sinbad.
Oh, fuck you, Eddie Griffin.
Eddie Griffin, nice. That's a good one.
Thank you.
David Spade.
Adam Sandler.
Oh,
you got this. You got this.
The principal from Mean Girls. What's his name?
Dude, you were just saying a bunch of actors at the beginning of this episode.
I know. I'm drawing a blank.
Wow, usually I'm the one that sucks at this. How the tables have turned.
Oh, the turntables have turned.
Turntables. Are you going to lose?
Yeah, you go.
Boom, Drew Carey.
Oh, Ellen DeGeneres.
Was Ellen DeGeneres in that? Yeah. Who was she?
It's her movie debut.
What was she?
Just like
in the movie. You don't even know.
She's a taxi driver.
She was a taxi driver?
I don't know, man. I read it on IMDb.
Oh, you made that shit up.
No, I didn't. I read it on IMDb.
All right. I'd like to transition into a segment that I created on the spot.
Oh, nice.
This is called all of my what the fuck moments. Dude, okay, don't lie. While you were watching this movie, how many times did you think to yourself or say out loud, what? That is ridiculous. How many times?
I don't know if I did. I really enjoyed this movie. A lot of it, I was laughing because I was like, "This is just such a silly."
This is
Dan Aykroyd being an alien. What were those parts? Maybe I did, and I didn't even think about it.
So we know that Premat, the wife, the alien wife, was pregnant, and then
when her water breaks,
sudden, her water breaks.
I remember that scene from when I was a kid and saw this movie.
You remember a flood, a fucking flood of water, broken water, and like it seeps under the door, and it was crazy. I was freaking out. And then right after that, she gives birth, not just a regular birth, a violent birth.
Like Beldar is passing out. They're trying to revive Beldar during it.
Passes the fuck out.
Multiple nurses are coming in and out of the room.
Sinbad is in the room.
It's getting splashed with water.
He's getting splashed with water. And this movie is rated PG.
This movie's it's out there.
It's going to give me nightmares, dude. You need more than parental guidance.
What else?
You need some Jesus.
You need some Jesus. When she picks up the Bible and is laughing on the bed.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man. I thought that was so... What do you think? What? Go ahead.
Oh, man. I'll just... Dude, when their daughter, Connie, is crying on the bed, she has green tears. And they don't explain it. It's free. And it's like a neon green. And it's such a small and subtle moment, but I'm still freaking out.
My favorite part about that is when the mom comes over and she goes, I read in a magazine, you can talk to me.
She's reading all the cosmopolitan magazines.
Parent Help magazine. She's like...
I did like that.
What other what the fuck moments you got?
Another what the fuck moment is when they go to sleep. It freaks me out because first of all, they sleep standing up. The beds are vertical.
Yeah.
And they're
cut into the mattress.
Yeah, they're cut into the mattress, and they fall asleep instantaneously, and they snore super loud and super fast. They're like, shh, 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 and it's giving me anxiety, dude.
Damn.
I'm not saying that I didn't enjoy this, but I was definitely screaming a lot of this throughout this film at like 2 a.m. Another one.
I'm sorry we put you through that torture,
dude. Megan McGarvey, you've given me PTSD.
Thanks, Megan.
Thanks, Megan. We hope to see you at our improv show, though.
Thanks, Megan.
Improv show, July 26th. If this,
It's definitely coming out after.
This is coming out after the improv show. But
Thanks for seeing us at the improv show, guys.
Thanks for seeing it. We hope we didn't disappoint you. So how is this movie rated PG? When they're having, do you know how they have foreplay? Do you know after
they put the rings on their cones?
Yes.
But that's why it's PG, because that's not really a sex thing. Like, that doesn't mean anything.
That's such a strong innuendo, though.
For what? What does it mean? Putting a cone on your head, what does it mean?
The cone is they have phallic skulls, dude, and it's going through a circular. That's intercourse, man. You would show that to your kid? You would show that to Arturo?
Arturo's seen this movie and loves it.
He fucking loves it.
And it's like a headband, dude. It's just like...
It's like a headband. Wait, another thing I'd like to transition into, unless you had something to say.
No, go ahead.
When Chris Farley's fantastic in this, by the way.
Brilliant. Oh, Chris Farley, neither of us mentioned him in the game.
Oh, we forgot that. Too bad I won. Biatch.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did that hurt your feelings?
No, go ahead. Chris Farley.
When Chris Farley, after the homecoming dance, goes home with Connie, and Connie's parents walks in on them doing whatever the fuck they were doing. This alien
They're doing
sex.
the alien sex.
And do you remember what the alien sex was like?
They're cross-legged, holding hands, and they both have the rings on their head.
But the funniest part about that is that he was drenched in sweat. He was feeling this alien sex more than the alien. He was drenched in sweat.
Okay, Chris Farley, when he's a mechanic, and it opens, the scene starts with Beldar and Connie go to pick up her friends to go shopping at the mall. And he's driving with all the girls in the car singing, and he hates his life. Like, his face is just like, God damn it. And so he takes a girl shopping. He goes to pick up his car from a mechanic, and it's fucking Chris Farley. And Chris Farley's like, sorry, man, your car's not ready. And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, this is the time coordinates you gave me. You said it would be ready.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know what to tell you, man. We got busy. And then he leaves. And then Connie's like, well, I don't know why it's taking so long. I know that you have this tool, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, well, truth is, I was in the back finishing a beer.
Yeah, he just did not even try to compete with it. He was being so truthful. He
takes her on a first date to Subway.
And she devours that.
They order 3 sandwiches.
Yeah, who does that?
Who goes to Subway on a date and orders 3 sandwiches?
Who goes to Subway on a date? Have you taken some?
No, never.
Okay. Ooh. Chris Farley was. I love his physicality.
Yeah.
He has this physicality.
He's doing the Farley thing.
The Farley thing where he's just like, stupid. And he's super spastic. And he's just like, whenever he feels that he's fucking up with Connie, he's always just like, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I was so dumb.
Oh, man, I was so stupid, Connie. Like, I know you're not that type of girl, Connie. I
know. Yeah.
So stupid.
Every single word he says, he jolts his neck forward like an ostrich.
Chris Farley.
But it works. Do you think Chris Farley says his own name?
Not anymore.
Oh, rest in peace, Chris Farley. Anyway.
The INS agents, the ICE agents, his initial, when we open and see the scene and meet him, he is proposing a border wall, or he's proposing a solution to the immigration problem by embedding essentially dog collars on all the immigrants and then putting like an invisible line across the border so that when they cross, they just burst into flames.
They just combust. Which is fucked up.
I hope Donald Trump has never seen this movie, because he would see that movie and be like,
you get that idea. This INS agent was
Donald Trump. That's my note. Mr. Seedling is Donald Trump.
I said Donald Trump Jr.
Don Jr. is nowhere near like this guy. Don Jr. is a way different bag of bones.
Bag of bones. Yeah, dude.
This movie they are really funny. And then when the aliens do take them to the alien world, Remulok, they take 2 humans with them. They take David Spade and Mr. Seedling.
Yeah.
And who is that guy? He's
I don't know if you watch it. He's in Better Call Saul as Saul Goodman's older brother.
But he's the other thing. He's also been like a cop or like a principal or something.
I know him from like very small roles. Like he was in a Friends episode. Do you remember the Friends episode where Monica is trying to sell this fake chocolate?
Okay. Yeah.
And it tastes like shit. And he was her boss, like trying to spearhead that. But that's what I know him from. He's a good actor, though. I do like him.
He's done quite a bit.
Yeah, he's been around. I'll say. But he played a good villain. I usually see him as a villain in multiple things.
Definitely a villain. Definitely. And Phil Hartman's in this movie too, dude. Phil Hartman plays his boss, his alien boss.
Yeah, you lost
another rest in peace, man.
Another rest in peace, dude. This was just 26 years ago, dude.
Well, and Phil Hartman was murdered. That bitch.
Fucking. It's really depressing.
Michael McKean is the name of the guy we're trying to remember, Mr. Seedling.
That's his name.
He was in the Clue movie. He's in the TV show Good Omens, as well as Better Call Saul. Mm-hmm. He did an episode of SpongeBob.
Oh, he did? Shit, so there's a lot of things that he was in.
He does quite a bit of voiceover work, it seems like.
Hey, dude, that's like a whole nother industry that you can tap into.
Do you think I could tap into that?
I think you could do it. I've actually been told that one of my coworkers, I was showing in an episode, he says that you have a really nice speaking voice, which I know is a big compliment for you.
Yeah, because every time I listen to this podcast, I have to just like...
You're highly critical on your own voice, man.
I'm highly critical on my own.
Yeah, but you're a good speaker. Well, yeah, you're either a really good speaker
or I'm mumbling.
You're just mumbling and like you're like drunk without being drunk.
You know what? Sorry, but I blame my father.
He
mumbles a lot.
What's your excuse?
We have big lips and a fat tongue.
Oh, you big lips and a fat tongue.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Big lips and a fat tongue.
There has to be a way to speak well with the big lips and a fat tongue.
I think I'm doing it currently correctly.
You're articulating too much. You have anything else to say about this movie, man?
I do want to talk about Dan Aykroyd.
Let's talk about him.
Do you know about Dan Aykroyd?
In what sense? I know that he was an SNL cast member. I know that I haven't seen him in a long time, but during that time period.
Well, he's selling that Crystal Skull vodka right now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. He is a avid believer in extraterrestrials.
Really?
Yes, and ghosts. That's why when he wrote Ghostbusters, he put real things in there like ectoplasm and things like that are actually in the ghost searching world. Just like in Coneheads, he's really into extraterrestrials. In fact, Dan Aykroyd has been quoted and claims to have seen 4 aliens in his life.
I think it's possible, man.
And he believes that extraterrestrials are coming to Earth in order to have sex with our women and make an alien-human hybrid that will thus lead us into the next level of evolution.
Wow, that's really specific. I wouldn't go so far as to believe that.
It's crazy. If you guys want to hear more about what Dan Aykroyd thinks about aliens, there's a podcast called Last Podcast on the Left, and they do these things called Side Stories. They do a phone interview with Dan Aykroyd. Crazy interesting. If you're into extraterrestrials, crazy interesting. And then to hear Dan Aykroyd like also talk about filming, like it's just fucking hilarious.
I'm sure he does it in a funny way too.
And like in the interview, every like 10-15 minutes, he's like, and you know what? It's so pure. These beliefs are so pure, like Crystal Skull vodka. It is the purest vodka you can buy. He's constantly plugging his vodka.
He's a smart man, dude.
I love Dan Aykroyd. Shout out Dan Aykroyd.
I miss you, man. Miss you.
Oh, I also saw Dan Aykroyd live once.
Really? You did?
Okay.
Stand up?
No. Yeah, does he do stand up?
I have no clue.
No, I used to live in Irvine, and I used to live in a new neighborhood. It was called the Great Parks neighborhood. It was part of this development where they're building this huge park in Orange County. It's going to be bigger than Central Park and yada yada. Anyways, they opened a amateur soccer stadium, and to kick off the celebration, they had a stage and a show with the Blues Brothers. And me and my roommate were like, "Oh, well, let's go see the Blues Brothers." And we're there like. And we're sitting around and we're thinking to I'm thinking to myself, well, but it's not the real Blues Brothers.
They're wearing sunglasses.
It's going to be it's Universal Studios Blues Brothers.
They're actors.
And then, the band comes out and they're doing all the stuff. And then they bring out the Blues Brothers. And I'm looking at the jumbo screen and I'm looking at the Blues Brothers. And I'm like, that's Dan Aykroyd and Jim Belushi.
Yeah, it'd have to be the brother at this point. Yeah.
I always get the name. But I was like, that's Dan Aykroyd. And that's Jim Belushi. And then I look around like, is this the real Blues Brothers? Then the people in the crowd around me start realizing, is this the real Blues Brothers? And all of us suddenly kicked the content into another level because none of us were expecting the real Blues.
No one would.
And I tell this story and people are like, Alex, those were impersonators. I'm like, no, guys, it was Dan Aykroyd and Jim Belushi doing the Blues Brothers. It was incredible. Great 2 hours of my life. I ate sandwiches and drank beer that I brought and snuck in. Ugh, miss it.
Well, how did you find out that was actually them? Was there like a jumbotron screen?
Yeah, there was a jumbotron, and at no point did anybody ever say like, oh, like the Blues Brothers from blah blah blah. The impersonator, they kept billing it and saying it as the Blues Brothers. And I remember even being like, but not like the real Blues Brothers, right? And people be like, no, it's the Blues Brothers.
And you're getting more and more and more excited, and you're like, it's the fucking Blues Brothers.
We stayed the whole show. We were like, we'll stay for a couple like songs. We'll eat our sandwiches and we'll get out of there. We stayed for the entire show, dude.
Dude, I'd do the same thing.
They did the best part. He did that like, hey, we met the women here in Irvine. They are the prettiest women ever. And I'm like, where do you mean women in Irvine, dude? Like,
are the women in Irvine not attractive?
I mean, you don't hang out in Irvine because you're so close to Newport and you're so close to Laguna Beach. Like, you go hang out in other places,
and that's where the beautiful people are.
Yeah. You're not hanging out in like where everybody lives and goes to school. You know.
Hey, some people want to. Some, like, you know, if people want to see pretty college girls, maybe pretty college girls exist in Irvine too, dude.
Not at UCI. Ooh,
that's a tackle to a large population. That, you know, listeners, if you're from Irvine, I didn't say that. You can get at Alex.
Yeah, I'm at Christian Has Asthma on Instagram.
Fuck you, dude. No, hey.
So Coneheads.
All women are beautiful. I can use that. You always use that on me. Don't make that face. Don't make that face.
Did you think Connie was beautiful?
Yeah, dude, I had the weirdest crush on her.
Really?
Yeah, I thought she was good looking, man.
I read that the only reason why they had a montage of Connie growing up was because Dan Aykroyd brought his daughter onto set and she wanted her own cone.
Yeah, she wanted her own
She wanted her own cone, and he was like, all right, well, let's put it in the film.
Yeah, I'm making this film, like, we're gonna do it. That's adorable. Yeah, I had a weird crush on her. Yeah, she was really pretty. Crush. She was really pretty. Not that I'm, like, down for the cone, but once again, all women are beautiful.
Coneheads, known heads. It's all about...
Hey, if Chris Farley was attracted to her, what makes it so that we can't be?
That's fair.
Right? I speaking of which, they have weird bodies, though. We saw because Dan Aykroyd...
You see his, like, butt
he has, like,
plugs?
I don't know what they were. They were, like, butt horns, and he has no butt. There's no line separating his cheeks.
Yeah, he has no butt crack. So does that mean does he have a phallic?
There's something. They were looking down there and they were kind of freaking out at it, and I have no clue what it was. There was just, that's another what the fuck moment, dude.
What does he have? What? Because they definitely reproduce.
Yeah, somehow, and they get pregnant almost similarly in the way that humans get pregnant. I don't know. This movie was really fun. I really liked it that they were going crazy over gum. But instead of gum, what was it, Alex?
Condoms.
They were chewing on condoms. If I ever catch you chewing on a condom...
if you catch me chewing on a condom, I have had a stroke and don't know what's going on.
Or you're just blackout drunk,
dude. You need to call
a
doctor. One of my favorite lines is when Beldar pulls Chris Farley aside and he goes, may I have 55 words with you?
So exact. He's like, yeah, okay.
And I'm pretty sure he has exactly 55 words with him.
If it's scripted, yeah, they could easily count the words and just say that. There were a lot of terms in this movie that they like repeated, and it's like they've really formed a Remulac language.
Yeah.
Like, instead of saying damn, do you remember what they would say? They would say Mebs.
Yeah, Mebs.
I think a year, or their version of a year, was Zerl. Like I said before.
And so 7 Zerls.
Yeah. Those rings that they would put on each other's heads. Senso rings.
I like when he's like, where did you get those? And she's like, under your bed.
Oh, see? How is this PG? These innuendos.
Okay, so when Pre-Med thinks, and we're going a little long here, but it's okay. When Pre-Med thinks that he's cheating on her, and she's talking to the neighbor at the store, and she's like, oh, all men are pigs. And Pre-Med's like, pigs. And omnivorous domesticated clove-hooved vertebrate that defecates in the same place that it consumes.
That's why it's so funny. It's they were really smart about it.
I love when they break everything down too. Like Beldar says, like, take my car. Its reinforced alloy superstructure is far superior to your broken down, rusted out shit box.
Shit. See, they say shit in it. So funny, dude. This movie was great. It although it freaked me out, I was laughing a bunch. I think it's a good watch seeing them adopt American culture while being French. I think you'll enjoy it. We streamed this for you guys if you guys want to watch this.
Yeah,
it's free for streaming on Amazon Prime.
If you've got Amazon Prime, check it out. It's on TV every once in a while.
You'll catch it.
This is a pretty common movie. Do you have a best person on set award, Christian?
My best person on set award is gonna go to Chris Farley. Is that who's gonna go for?
I was gonna go Phil Hartman. It sounds like we're going.
Nice.
Yeah, it sounds like we're going for the Lost Souls.
Yeah, not the top billed actors. The Lost Souls, rest in peace.
Because Phil Hartman isn't in it all that much, but even he has a couple funny lines.
He does.
When they come back to the planet.
Which was a crazy scene. Like, there was a whole... it was like they were ran by a monarchy.
Yep.
And
the High Master. The High Master's like,
High Master.
I'll write this down. Is it written?
Is it written? Yeah. Oh, I like the little bit, like when they're, since he was getting punished for making his teeth not sharp anymore. They take Dan Aykroyd and they throw him in this like pit with this Garthok or whatever the fuck it is, with this beast.
Like the monster that Luke Skywalker fights in Return of the Jedi. Pretty much.
Just the parody
Almost
of that.
Exactly, yeah.
And I like how they were the prisoners that were being thrown in there. They were like fighting over the order.
And they die. Oh no! But they also die immediately. The first guy was the principal from Mean Girls. Did you recognize him?
Tim Meadows.
Tim Meadows.
That's the name, dude. I could have. No, that was him.
Tim Meadows. Dies immediately. Then the next guy looked at me and he goes, "I think I know the weakness." Runs out. Decapitated immediately.
His head is thrown.
And then they're like, all right, you're next. And he's like, no, Beldar's next. He's next in order. He's like, no, you're next.
You're next.
He's like, no, you were first. He goes, wow, you weren't so eager to go first in the court line.
Yeah, in the court line. And so the other guy goes first, dies immediately. But then
Beldar golfs his way out of it, dude.
He does. Oh, he's a great golfer.
Did you think bowling was going to come back into it? In the beginning, they see bowling, and I thought bowling was going to come back.
Oh, they were freaking out because these cone-shaped pins.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what it was. There were so many subtle jokes. Do you remember when Pirat, the wife, was in the grocery store and she starts screaming because she sees this basket of eggplants? And she must have thought they were just a bunch of heads.
I thought she was thinking they were like severed dicks.
No, you're thinking way too deep. You have a dirty mind. I got
a problem.
Dude, you cover your mouth. Arturo is listening.
Eggplants and dicks is a common thing to get confused now in today's generation.
Yeah, emoji.
But in 93, eggplants and dicks.
No.
Furthest thing you could think of.
There's no eggplant squirt emoji. Don't make that face.
You've
said
gross.
Disgusting things before.
Before, not now that I've seen and met Jesus.
Oh my gosh, get away from me.
Did you think it was funny when she was laughing at the Bible? Real quick, she finds a Gideon's Bible at the motel.
Oh yeah. I thought that was funny.
She's just like, what do you think she's reading? Which part?
I have no clue. It could be anything.
Well, you know what my favorite part of the Bible is?
Yeah,
it's the one where all the guys are asking Jesus, like, Jesus, what do we do if we can't stop looking at women? And Jesus is like, cut your fucking eyes out.
Does he say that? I haven't read the Bible.
Yeah, Jesus saes it just like that. He says, cut your fucking eyes out.
I'll have to, in all caps.
Yeah, no, pretty much. Because pretty much the guys are like, well, like, if women dress like slutty, what do we do? And Jesus is like, don't look at them. Uh-huh. And then like, no, but like, what do we do, Jesus, if we can't stop looking at them? And Jesus is like, then cut your eyes out.
Oh my God.
Jesus ain't around for the slut shaming, homie.
Damn, I thought
Jesus ain't here for that.
You think that would be like filtered out by now, like in like?
Oh, the Bible's great, dude. Bible's a crazy story.
I gotta read it, but
yeah, we'll do another podcast called "It Can't Be Bible That Bad."
That's poor English. We're not coming out with that episode, guys. But on that note, folks, thank you so much for your endless support.
Yeah, keep shouting out movies. We have a couple requests. We're gonna get to them as quick as we can. We have, a couple movies that we want to get to, of course. But, DM us, message us, let us know what your guilty pleasure movie is.
Yeah, and if we end up defending that movie, we'll give you a shout out.
1,000 shout outs.
Yeah, 1,000? Okay.
All right, here we go. Shout out to Megan McGarvey.
Shout out to Megan McGarvey. Shout out to Megan McGarvey. Shout out to...
Can't be that bad, oh, it 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 can't be that bad.
Hey, everybody. Real quick, we want to give a shout out to a couple people.
Yep. A huge shout out to John Boo and Alan Boo for the great sound production.
Shout out to Greg Reasoner for helping us out with our cover art and title work.
And a shout out to you guys for your endless support.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
Don't forget to rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify, anywhere you hear us.
We'll see you next time.
It can't be that bad.